We are testing here. We are testing. We are at the candy shop, which is Moto Forza in beautiful Escondido, California. There's Tony Thunder ready to go. A lot of great bikes to look at around here. Oh my, man could get himself in trouble. So, but let's get on this bike and ride. Let's see if this is working. Okay, we are paired. Supposed to be recording. It is a day later than the original ride, and I am suiting up for the ride back to Wistful Vistas, which, as I mentioned earlier, is one of my favorites. It goes along Lake Hodges. It's a beautiful road over there, unless it's afternoon, because then it's a major thoroughfare to get home. And I've set the camera a little further in this time. There she goes. Okay, there's a lot to share here today. There goes my jacket. All good. There's a lot to share here today. And most of it is okay news, but there's a huge bit that's just really not okay news, and that has to do with the fuel tank leak. And I'll talk about that now while we're just kind of tootling along through city streets. So it turns out that let me tilt this down and give you just a little bit more of the machine in the view, because I think that's missing in the earlier view. So it turns out that the leak is nothing I did, as I mentioned. I had learned that much the other day. Leak isn't anything I did, huzzah, because I'm a tinker and I'm not a professional, and I have known to cause myself some trouble but by the things I've attempted to do. Some perhaps a little too ambitious for a young man such as myself, but in this case it's nothing that I did, thank goodness, because when you go in and see the mechanics and they say, oh no, nothing you did, yeah right, and then they look at you like, oh god, you don't know how many hours I spend cleaning up after guys like you. But so that's the good news, and there it ends. The rest of it has to do with the plastic fuel tank. So the earlier Aprilia, so this is what I've been told, and I'm going to find out a little more. So the Aprilias and a lot of motorcycle manufacturers went to plastic tanks not all that long ago, and the reason supposedly, well, you could think of the reasons. It's lightweight, it's easy to use, you can mold it into any shape you want. There are things you do for design or manufacturing's sake that they come in a lot of different flavors. Why you do the things you do, which is an old rock and roll song, by the way. And so there are a number, like for instance, you might want to make it easier to manufacture. One of the guys on the shop floor comes in and says, hey dudes, if we just change this part from this material to this material, it's moldable easier. So you do that. And then there's others that say, hey, this material is lighter, and who knows what all the reasons were behind going to the plastic fuel tank. But they have had issues with those plastic fuel tanks. The plastic fuel tanks expand with the fuel and with the temperature with the fuel in it, and the fittings going into and out of the plastic tanks are, I'm told, a little more problematic than the fittings that would go to a normal metallic tank. And you could get that plastic softer. So You never know what people are going to do, by the way. This machine wants to crawl all over the back of that car, but you don't. This lady went over to the right lane, so the plastic tank, there's a vent hose, and I guess the Aprilias have a bit of a reputation for this. There's a vent hose that comes out towards the back of it, and where it goes in and out of my tank has it's a short way to put it is that it's broken. The longer way to put it in is that it leaks. It's probably got some abrasion or some use or flex over time, and it vents. Yes, it does, and it leaks while it's venting, which is really good news. So there's no fix. Let's just cut to the chase. There is no fix. You can't fix it. So I'm told. I think potentially if you could find a sealant that was okay with the very aggressive alcohol-based fuels that we use nowadays, that you might be able to do some kind of an ugly patch on it and fill it in or whatnot, but it's a very iffy deal. So there's no fix. There is no fix. Did you all get that? There is no fix. So it's a new fuel tank, or a different fuel tank, and that is not cheap. We are talking, I don't know what we're talking actually, several $100s worth of that is not cheap. So I don't know what a fuel tank is. I don't know perhaps if there are some used ones on the market and what condition they might be in. You might buy one and it might just have that same thing, because as I said, the Aprilias are getting a bit of a name for themselves in this regard. So the issue then continues. Are you having fun yet? So the issue is that the folks at Moto Forza did the yearly service, and they did it very well, which was never in doubt. But they are not an Aprilia dealer, not officially. They used to be in earlier days. They are not an Aprilia dealer, and they say that you need to go to an Aprilia dealer because they feel that it might be a warranty item. Being a warranty item might be because it's related to the emissions control system. I think we've got room enough here to filter. What do y'all think? Yes, we do. And and fuel emissions are a 5-year warranty item. This bike is past the manufacturer's warranty for most of the hard mechanical items, but emissions, especially in California, oh, do we hate emissions. Do we hate hydrocarbons? We hate it. We hate it. Not me, I love hydrocarbons, but I'm out of style in so many ways. So the emission system is a 5-year warranty issue. Okay. Here we go. There's Lake Hodges ahead. Kids, remember that? Isn't that beautiful? Hard to believe that's here in San Diego. So the 5-year warranty on emissions related equipment might cover this, but the only way to find that out is to go to a specific Aprilia dealer. And I did buy this from Prix Motorcycles, which is closer to downtown San Diego, I think I've mentioned before that I like the guys at Moto Forza, very friendly. It's not that I don't like the guys at San Diego. And plus the ride out over to San Diego is pretty much through city traffic. And it is nowhere near as interesting and as fun as this ride is. Not by a long shot. This is beautiful. I love this ride. So what happens next? They have taken a photo, and he's copied me on it, of where the leak is and their assessment of it, and they've sent it over to Grand Prix Motorcycles in downtown San Diego. They are related companies. They are owned by the same people, so they're rivals in a sense, but they're also sister shops in a sense. There's the lake. Can you all see it? Just lovely. So the potential is that it might be covered under a warranty. What has to happen, I guess, is that Grand Prix presents a warranty claim to Aprilia, and Aprilia says, yeah, that's a warranty item, replace it. Now, the other thing that Aprilia has a bit of a reputation for in the USA, your country and your location being different, let's say California, USA, is they are very hard to convince on a lot of warranty issues, and they're slow payers for those warranty issues. That means that while your motorcycle dealer won't tell you what those issues are because they don't want to wreck the reputation with them, it's out and about in the industry, and they just say, oh my gosh, don't bother. I know a couple of car manufacturers that way, by the way. So my next step will be to contact Grand Prix Motorcycles and ask them, see what I mean about this road? How great is this road? Huh? This is just so great. It is perfectly made for motorcycles. It's a great day for a ride, and I love the curtains. Just too bad it isn't you and I. We could have a bit more fun. So that is what I have to do next. Now, complicating factors are that this machine and the Ducati, I was planning on moving on to go down to one motorcycle, and since I was going to go to one motorcycle, I might as well go to the latest model of whatever motorcycle it is that I pick. Obviously, selling it with a fuel leak is, I'd have to disclose that, and that's not going to make a lot of people happy. And it's just not what you'd like to do to maximize. But I don't know if the difference in me divulging, hey, it's got the famous fuel leak, versus what I could get for it would compensate for what the price of a different or new gas tank would be. So that is the story. It's ugly, it's long-winded, and it's bad. It's oh so bad. So you tell me what you think. Leave a comment or a note down below, and let me know what you think about this whole dilemma here. Any suggestions or thoughts for a way to go forward? And by the way, I have thought about looking on eBay. Is there a Aprilia, the 17 or whatever years would fit gas tank for sale on eBay or some such? But the issue there is it's the same, and how do you know when you purchase it that it doesn't have exactly the same issue? If they're developing that reputation, it means it's happened more than once, and some person may be selling along a problem they have to someone else. The thing that I will not do, but not everybody operates as you and I, right? So there we go. That's the update on that. Anyhow, it's a lovely day for a ride, even if I am stuck behind a little bit of slow traffic, and we're just rumbling along. I could probably drop it down into second gear here, have about the same amount of fun, but it's just nice to cruise along my private Nürburgring Road, San Diego, here at Wistful Vistas in beautiful suburban San Diego, California. over and out for now.